Hello and welcome. It's an honour to be reading for you today, and this is your weekend tarot starting Friday the 17th of November. And hopefully you're looking to relax over the weekend and maybe unwind from the stresses of the past few days. I do pray you've all had a great week and that you've managed to live up to your own potential. And today I'll be reading from the Thoth deck, which is my favourite deck. This deck was conceptualised by Aleister Crowley, who was often a misinterpreted and misunderstood prophet of the New Age, and he designed this deck as to follow the original Rider-Waite, and he looked to improve upon it with all of the knowledge and secrets he gathered through his studies into the hidden teachings of all ages. So let's look to the energies present over the next couple of days, and this way we can truly live from a place of power and knowing, and this gives us the freedom and the insights that those who dare not look into fail to grasp and apply. So our cards for this weekend are the Princess of Discs, and next we have Adjustment from the Major Arcana, and finally we have the Ace of Swords, or Excalibur as I call it. So we have the Princess of Discs, and this is otherwise known as the Page of Pentacles. Now, we're looking at either yourself and your feelings, or possibly someone close to you, and this person will play an important role over the next couple of days. And this is an Earth card, and it deals with matters in the physical world of making and growing. Now, this person is very practical, and they're hardworking and steady in their actions. They're dependable, and they're always willing to work hard to gain new skills and knowledge. And looking at the Thoth rendition, we can see that the princess has a powerful gaze or focus. If we look behind her, we can see she's had to push through thorns to get to a place of apparent power, and this power is being symbolized here in the wand that she's holding. Now this power is not something the princess is entirely in control of at present. She's not a queen yet, and this symbolizes the student. As you can see from her gaze, she is in a way transfixed by the light emanating from it. And this gaze, or trance, this holds this newfound power, and if one's not careful, this gaze can become like a tunnel vision. So one is purely focused on the task at hand, and if you do this and you're not careful, then other important matters around you could accidentally get left by the wayside. Now, I stated a powerful gaze earlier, and this is because the princess has had to work hard and to face opposition through thorns to get to this place. These thorns will have wounded her and torn her to some degree, and now that she's finally made it to the other side, she's in a way determined to own this new place and newfound security, and to exercise her will with her wand and focus. And nobody can get in her way now, and this character card is known to be not really able to deal with conflict productively, and this is just due to the immaturity of the princess's nature. But she is, however, determined to find balance, and this is symbolized by the yin and yang she holds at her side. So she's still learning and applying herself at this point in life. And the princess is rooted in nature, so growth is being implied here. The original Rider-Waite actually symbolized the character as the student, so it does fit perfectly. There is something about unfolding events being portrayed here. You can see her cloak has unravelled in folds before her eyes as she focuses ahead. And this is sort of saying that this person likes life to unfold in an ordered fashion. So when life is in order and there's no discord, this person can really aid others using their power. And she's understanding of others' needs and sympathetic to their feelings. She has that huge resource of strength from the roots that are in the back there to draw upon. And this is sometimes known as the threshold card. Now we have Adjustment, or Justice, and the theme here is Venus being balanced in Libra, which is the scales. And we have the goddess right there, and the descending with their sword, which implies intent, and she's blindfolded, which also describes that this intent or this motion is pure in its will. So it's really just the spirit moving. Now through this descent, which is in fact the soul or spirit coming into a human form, the goddess is blindly being balanced on the scales, and this is the soul. And from this point, all the qualities and potential expressions and behaviours and possibilities are weighed on the scales, and from here they can come into an equilibrium before fully manifesting into a person here on Earth. Adjustment is the theme here. You can see the atomic molecules around the goddess. Spirit is now having to adjust to its new habitat and is preparing for full realization into form from spirit into flesh. Now in the world of affairs and events, what we're looking at here could be a delay in action. You may have a pending loan request or a court case. You may be awaiting to hear about an interview, or you may be in the beginning stages of a new relationship where both parties don't exactly know everything about each other and they're both adjusting and waiting and amalgamizing. This card indicates, though, that whatever the matter is for you, then justice will likely prevail. And this is the time to think logically, to not let emotions overwhelm your decision. Before making any important decisions, you're guided to first weigh up the pros and cons of the situation, just like the scales, before making any important choices this weekend. If you've been feeling out of balance lately, then now is the time to find your centre. Going with the theme of justice, this card indicates in your life that all actions will have fair consequences, everything will fall into place just as it should be, and that responsible actions will be fairly compensated. So really great energy here for you. If you can look to find that balance, you'll be able to realise the full force of adjustment and tap into the hidden power of the goddess within you. Now we have the Ace of Swords, and this card reminds me of Excalibur and the tales of overcoming and seeking something higher than yourself. So you're now being presented with an opportunity to use your mind to cut through obstacles. Now, there may be some issue at home or in your environment that's been sort of lurking around in the background, and maybe you haven't had the resources or the energy or the know-how to fully deal with it. But the Ace today, it promises that you can now use this sword to cut through all opposition and to fully grasp and envision what was once obscured by clouds. And this picturesque theme has been immortalized in the Thoth deck, as the sword has cut through the clouds of misunderstanding and has now been crowned with a brand new awareness. So a new truth will occur to you, and you'll come to understand that which you have needed to in a new way. This new perspective will be clear and true, and it will cut through all the illusions. You'll now have the mental focus to make new plans and develop new strategies around this problem. All you have to do now really is commit yourself to some effective action. I would advise that you do this while your vision is unobscured, because these moments soon pass, and this card indicates that you have the opportunity to do the right thing now, and if required, you will have to cut away all that is unnecessary and leave it behind. If you are up for the challenge, then please proceed with care, because once things are disclosed, there may be some things you might not like, and this awareness that you've, been crowned with, once presenting it to other people, the sword can cut them down or raise them up, so how you choose to use this power is entirely your choice. Thank you for joining me this weekend. I pray you all make the most of the next couple of days, and we are approaching Christmas yet again. It does really seem the older I get, the faster time seems to be moving by. I do realise though this is down to the novelty factor of the brain, and as we get older we tend to get stuck in routines, and thus our mind does not log our experiences as really significant. It remembers what is novel and new, just like when we're younger. So there's a lesson to be learned in this, and you could call it the fountain of youth. If you could look to perform one novel task each day, no matter how insignificant, you'll find that the brain will start to log more data again and pin more points of significance in time. You'll find that the weeks will slow back down and you won't see your life passing by anymore. The pace will be more of an acceptable ebb again. If you haven't already, please press like below to show your support, and I'll see you next week for your weekly reading. Thank you once again, and God bless.